Hi, everyone. Super fired up for the season. As you know, going Big Ten, it's going to create very fun, exciting, different opponents for this year that we haven't seen. And yeah, we're excited for the challenge. Big Ten is an elite conference, and we're excited to be able to be competing in that conference.
What's the process over the last few months of really making that adjustment, getting into the weeds, the nuts and bolts of how different this season's going to be rather than kind of just the initial impression that it left with you?
Yeah, we faced Rutgers last year, and it was a close battle in the second half. Losing that game kind of ramped up the competitiveness of this is what we're going to be facing every game when we face a conference team. So just going in with that mentality of, pushing ourselves to compete at that next level, attacking everything, and, really taking advantage of the time that we have out on the field together.
Anything you've picked up from other coaches around the department that have kind of been through it a little bit over the last few months that might be helpful? I mean, do you guys talk amongst yourselves even about that, really?
Yes and no. I feel like I should probably get out there more to talk to other coaches to ask them hey, Dan Lanning, what's it like winning in the Big Ten? But I think for lacrosse, it's so different. And with that, it's just, again, we really talk about focusing on ourselves and, it's going to be different in an exciting way. And the only option is to move forward and push this program forward. So
you're without Morgan McCarthy, of course, this season, as well as a lot of other notable graduates, but you also brought in 9 freshmen in this off season. So how are you mixing that new talent with old talent like Simmons and Jenkins, and how are they kind of relying on each other to get ready for this play?
Yeah, it's been super exciting. I feel like we've got just such great talent coming back this year, and everyone's going to be competing for fighting spots. So it's exciting to see, a Morgan leave a legacy and have others trying to follow in that path too.
You had a lot of players also play internationally in this off season. Yeah. How do you think that helped prepare them coming into this season?
Oh, yeah, it's such a different perspective, and having 2 coaches go out and play also international this past winter break and bringing back that knowledge. And so it was really exciting to be able to see them compete. And so, see your leaders do it and actually what they're saying going to play, and being able for the players to watch them compete was pretty exciting. And, again, an awesome learning opportunity for our players.
With all those freshmen you're bringing in, just what have you seen from them in terms of development since kind of started practicing to now?
Yeah, again, we keep our practices at a high level of competing, and I talk about this every week of no spots guaranteed. And so to have that mentality week by week, it really creates such a competitive drive in practices. And it doesn't matter if you're a first year on this team or you've been here for a senior, really working hard to compete for those spots. And so I think that gives awesome incentive for our first years to come out and compete hard. So I'm excited to see what they've got in store for the season.
You have a lot of great options in terms of for the goalie position. You have Cassidy, Page, and then Kate, I believe, is the new freshman coming in. Is there any word or idea on that and how that position is going to be filled?
I know. It's just, to me, again, we talk about week by week, it's just going to be a battle. And I love how supportive they are. We call it goalie world, and they're just constantly supporting each other and that hype for one another. We just had a scrimmage and they all got playtime, and it's just exciting to hear them screaming their heads off for each other on the sidelines. Just so proud no matter who plays in that game. Everyone's got the support and backing of the team.
Coach, I wanted to ask about, you're entering the Big Ten. There are obviously a lot of big opponents, Northwestern, Johns Hopkins, and Maryland, that you have to play later in the season, but it's all about how you start. What type of statement are you hoping that this team can make to then enter Big Ten play later?
Totally. And it's been kind of exciting to craft the schedule. So we've kind of ramped up our out-of-conference level of play, so that'll really prep us for come conference, and us playing on Thursdays and Sundays with Big Ten now. We kind of ramped that schedule going down to play, some Pac-12 opponents that we played last year, playing them in a weekend, just kind of playing that strategy of how we can prep them the best to kind of feel it out of conference. So when we come to conference, we've been there before.
How did you decide that was the best way to go, kind of ramping things up non-conference rather than maybe trying to, build some confidence early against opponents you might,
and again, everyone's different, but you really learn from failures. And I think that that's a great way of facing an opponent and feeling really good, whether you win or lose, of we gave it our best and facing them, and we come out that win. We know it works well. If we don't, we take a lot of learning moments from that as well.
What's the culture been like in the locker room for these women, just trying to build this team and go out and be successful for, this later part of the year?
Yeah, I'm excited to see what they have to say to that question. But I feel like that people are here for the right reasons, and we want to freaking win. And I think it's exciting to be a part of a new conference and to take Oregon on the map and play at that national level and to be able to compete against, top 10 programs. We've got 3 of them in the top 5. Like, we're going to be competing in our season every single year. So what an exciting opportunity to be able to face that challenge head on. Like I said, our only option is to move forward with this program.
A few new core values this season. You want to talk about those a little bit, what they mean to the team?
Yes. I know. I feel like me being gone for leave. Okay, yeah. So family, consistency, and relentless. These are our team winning values. The team picks them, they define them, and then each week they pass it off to somebody who exemplifies that in practice. And again, like, we really let them kind of pick the words. I heard one coach say one time that they don't like the phrase of buying in, and so I think that was kind of interesting to let them be the ones to dictate how they want to lead this program this year.